we are pup parents, there are four main pillars, okay? And the four main pillars, as an overview, are live, okay, learn, teach, and play. Okay, so when we're looking at the pillar of live, we're talking about focusing on creating a safe and stress-free environment for our dogs. Okay, so that means establishing some really predictable routines for them and making sure that they have a safe space and they feel very safe and secure at home. And if we find that they're having a lot of fear issues at home, they're having a lot of trouble feeling that sense of safety and security, that's where we really want to, try to think about that and try to kind of go back to that pillar. And then learn. So with learn, we're talking about learning the basics of how dogs think to better understand their behavior, right? Reflecting also on our own mindset. All of this is not just about our dogs. This is also about the family, right? So the family as a whole. Our dogs are our family. They're not just pets. They are part of our family. And in that, it's important that we understand that anything we're feeling, any stress that we might be going through, any changes in the house, any health concerns we're having, not just what our dogs are having, that's all going to be part of the whole picture, right? So we want to make sure that we're reflecting on our own mindset and recognizing that our emotions are very influential to the whole picture, right? To their behavior and to our behavior. Understand how your dog communicates through body language and unique needs. That one seems a little bit more obvious to me, but I want to make that very clear that, being able to understand and learn about your dog's go-to body language signals is going to be key, right? Because, some dogs, when they're fearful, they might shut down. Other dogs, when they're fearful, might act out. They might start jumping and getting a little spastic, right? So it's important that you know your own dog. And then the next pillar is teach. So that's where we're going to take some very achievable, we're going to take our bigger goals and we're going to break those down to achievable pieces and then teach them to our dogs, not as obedience cues, right? Not to turn them into like robots for us where they do what we want them to do just because we want them to do it, but because we know that in this modern world, they're going to need some life skills, right? And what we want to do is take those life skills and build resilience into them. So it's not about necessarily always being able to keep them in a safe little bubble. Of course, we want to think that we can, but unfortunately, scary things can happen. For example, today's a very windy day here in New Hampshire. And so it can be scary for dogs just to be in their own home when the wind is blowing the way it is around them, right? And they have to go outside eventually, most of them. So if we don't have a very resilient dog, then we're going to have a really hard time getting them and helping them to recover from having to go outside, right? So building that resilience and those life skills is going to be really important. And we do that through a lot of patience, a lot of observation, and a lot of consistency. Okay. And then pillar number 4 is play. Play is one of my favorites. Play is something that I will actually often incorporate into the teaching piece as well and the learning piece. Play is about engaging in enriching activities that challenge your dog mentally and physically. Okay. And also ones that challenge you, right? Because we want to be able to, again, enrich our own lives with our dogs so that we don't have to feel like we have dog time and then our own time. Can we find ways to integrate those two things together and everybody can enjoy it? If you don't enjoy taking your dog for a walk around the neighborhood, but your dog does, that's something to consider. Maybe there's somewhere to meet in the middle. Maybe that's not play for you, but for your dog, it would be a fun thing for them. And then using play as an opportunity to strengthen your bond and foster trust, right? So play involves a lot of communication back and forth. It's very dynamic. So we're going to build a lot of trust in that if we are listening to their communication the right way and communicating back to them. And then incorporating some variety to keep the novelty alive. Right? We don't want them to get bored. We don't want us to get bored either. I get bored very easily if I have to repeat the same thing over and over and over again. So that would no longer be fun for me. And that's going to play into how fun it might be for my dog, right?